who wants to change the code and fix Bitcoin? Well, Greenpeace, why do they want to do it? Because they got paid $5 million by enemies of Bitcoin to do it, right? Right. So the people that are questioning it are people that want to raise money. If I want to raise $10 million of capital, to buy Bitcoin, it's very difficult.
Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy and a Bitcoin advocate, has emphasized the importance of allowing spot Bitcoin ETFs, especially as they appear poised to become a major trend in the crypto market. He believes that a spot Bitcoin ETF could significantly impact the Bitcoin landscape. This perspective is particularly intriguing, considering many had anticipated that a Bitcoin halving event would dominate headlines next year. Recent developments surrounding ETF filings, including misleading reports of imminent approvals that caused Bitcoin prices to surge, have raised concerns about the approval timeline for spot Bitcoin ETFs. Currently, it's unclear how major institutional investors like BlackRock and Fidelity, two of the largest Bitcoin holders, would adjust their purchasing strategies once a spot ETF is launched. The potential for widespread interest in Bitcoin from new investors is substantial. Now, let's take a look at the clips where Michael Saylor discusses ETF plans.
I've met executives that run companies that have 100 million customers. I've met executives that run companies that have hundreds of billions of dollars of capital. I've met executives that manage trillions and trillions of dollars of capital. When I talk to them about Bitcoin, they say, "Oh, we like Bitcoin. We love the fact there's a 21 million cap. We like the protocol. This is great." Not a single one of them suggests changing it. You know who suggests changing it? It's people that have no money, no power, no influence, who are looking to make a name for themselves, right? So they're trolls. It's on Twitter. If you actually post, "Satoshi did a good job, Bitcoin is great, let's support Bitcoin," well, you're one of a million, and people might agree with you, but you don't stand out. But if you go on Twitter and say, "I found a defect in Bitcoin," I think in 18 years, this bad thing will happen to Bitcoin. Well, then you get a lot of engagement. A lot of people disagree with you, but you're irritating and you're enraging, right? And they say enragement is engagement. So I think that people on Twitter are very sensitive. Nobody in the real world is worried about this, right? Nobody off Twitter is worried about this. On Twitter, you see people all the time that are provocateurs, and so they will just pick something that works fine, and they'll attack it, right? And they'll question it. But who wants to change the code and fix Bitcoin? Well, Greenpeace, why do they want to do it? Because they got paid $5 million by enemies of Bitcoin to do it, right? Right. So the people that are questioning it are people that want to raise money. If I want to raise $10 million of capital, to buy Bitcoin, it's very difficult. Okay, why do you want my money? I want to take your 10 million. I want to buy Bitcoin. Okay, well, I can just buy the Bitcoin myself. Why do I need you? Right? It's very difficult. You have to show that you're providing a service. But if I raise the $10 million to build the next Bitcoin, or to fix Bitcoin, or to do something, and if I can say that there's a defect, then maybe I raise the money. So I really think that the criticism comes from people that are looking to either raise money or they're looking to acquire influence, or it's like, I want to get followers, so I go attack somebody or I quibble with them. I fight with a famous person who's got 100x more followers than me, hoping they'll respond to me, so that maybe I get some of their followers. But it's really trollish behavior, and it's more driven by, ironically, by those who have no influence and no money, right? The people that have the billions of dollars of Bitcoin aren't at all worried, and the people that can buy billions of dollars of Bitcoin tomorrow aren't at all thinking about this. What they're thinking about is, how do I rewire my accounting system, and how do I get authorization from the SEC to buy the billions of Bitcoin? They're concerned about more pedestrian things, like how do I integrate it with my system How do I explain it to my investors, and how do I do it in a compliant fashion?
The SEC has consistently opposed the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs, citing concerns about theft and market manipulation. However, it recently decided not to appeal a high court ruling that could pave the way for the $8.4 billion Grayscale Bitcoin Trust to convert into an ETF. According to Bloomberg data, the likelihood of a spot Bitcoin ETF being approved is increasing, and several funds may soon receive the green light, though the exact timeline remains uncertain. Michael Saylor reiterates the critical importance of approving a Bitcoin ETF for the global market, asserting that the spot ETF could be the most significant step forward. Let's listen to his insights on this topic.
I think that there are really three milestones we need for massive adoption of Bitcoin by governments, by thousands of companies, by all of the investors in the world. The first and the most important one, the one that's going to dominate this cycle, is going to be the spot ETF. Because futures ETFs are just literally defective, right? If I said I'm going to charge you a 10% fee per year to invest your money, like your money's gone in 7 years, right? I'm just taking it all, right? So that makes no sense. So the spot ETF is going to be critical. It's going to solve the problem of how do I custody the Bitcoin? Most of these companies and investors, if they want to establish their own custody program, it's very scary, right? Have you noticed how many custodians have failed? And the issue is, how do I find an institutional grade custodian? And okay, well, you could say like you should self-custody. Well, how does, who at Microsoft is supposed to self-custody? Like, do you want to get, you're going to give $100 billion of Bitcoin to the CFO and have the CFO walk around with the private keys? Like, who wants that job, right? Like, how are you going to do multi-sig? Well, which 3 people at Microsoft, right? So it becomes a question, and it takes them a year or 2 years to answer the question. And is it possible? Sure it is. It just takes 2 or 3 years. And so if we want mass adoption, we have to solve the problem of custody, and then we have to solve the problem of compliance, right? If I'm an investor and I have $10 billion of capital and I want to buy $100 million worth of Apple stock, I can do it in 30 seconds via BlackRock or via one of my major money managers. And I don't even have to come up with $100 million. I could have a nickel, make a phone call and say, buy $100 million of Apple stock, put the phone down, and have all the money at the end of the day without putting up in cash. And it would be my bank, like JP Morgan, that would front me the money. So you see, it's completely financeable, no money down. I can do it in 30 seconds. And then it flows into my systems, like my accounting system, my compensation system. When Apple stock doubles, the portfolio manager that actually made the buy wants to get paid. So how do I attribute the success of the investment to the person that made the investment when it's changing every minute of the day? How do I pay taxes on it? How do I make sure I don't have a Nick Leeson situation where one portfolio manager makes a $10 billion bet and bankrupts the entire firm, right? So these are all pedestrian problems, but they're solved by that spot ETF plugged into the money manager. That's going to be the number one driver, right? And that's going to dwarf everything else in the near term. The second driver is the FASB fair value accounting. Because if I'm a corporation and I have $1 billion of cash flow this year, I normally would have to either put it into dollars or euros, and I know I'm losing 7% of its value every year in a normal monetary inflation environment. Or I'd have to buy sovereign debt like euro bonds or treasury bonds. And then I'm just losing 2, 3, 4% of its value every year. And I can do one of those two things, but I can't invest it in any other property that's going to go up in value. Because like, how do I buy $1 billion building every month? And then if I need to get 500 million back, how do I sell half the building in one day? So property, like real estate, is not liquid. And it's not fungible. So that makes no sense. So then the question is, well, can I just buy $1 billion of Apple stock? No, because it's a security, and it turns out that there are regulatory requirements that say a public company can't have more than 40% of its liquid assets in securities. So when I have 45% of my, if I have $1 billion and I buy 200 million worth of Apple stock and it doubles, I trip that covenant. And then what happens is I'm an SEC 40 company. And what that means is I can't issue debt and I can't issue stock options. And it means the entire company blows up. Right? Like the entire operating business blows up, right? And so I don't know how to say this in any way other than everybody gets fired, everything comes to a grinding halt. So the question is, if you're a CFO, you think you're going to risk that?
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing a new video for you. In this video, Michael Saylor has discussed about Bitcoin. He says the total Bitcoin market and cryptocurrency and US economic system. So guys, I hope all of guys will enjoy this video. If you are like video like this, then you can subscribe my channel because I daily upload this type of content for you. So if you like this type of content, then I requesting you to subscribe my channel. So let's watch what's happened in this video also. Let's thank you guys for watching until the end. If you like Bitcoin related content, then you can subscribe my channel because I upload daily this type of videos, especially Michael Saylor and Carl video.
Attack the mark!
So guys, if you like this type of content, then you can subscribe my channel. There is an enemy has come beside me. Thank you guys for watching. Until I will be back with another video next time. Bye for now.